Now, when gratuity becomes payable? So only upon the termination of service of the employee, not before that, surely, right? Now, gratuity is payable upon termination of employment after rendering continuous service of 5 years. Again, what could be the reason for termination? It could be superannuation, could be retirement or resignation or death or disablement, total disablement, right? Again, this service condition of 5 years, it is not necessary in case of death and disablement, right? Even if it is they have served only for 1 year, then proportionately gratuity is to be calculated and it is to be paid to the nominee. That is the idea. Disablement means it is paid to the employee. In case of death, it is to be paid to the nominee, right? The question now, the last point is 4 years and 240 days. Shall it be treated as 5 years? Right? Yes, technically, yes, it is like that only. The legal position says that, right? So if the person has completed 4 years and in the 5th year, if he completes 240 days, right, 8 months roughly, so he is deemed to have completed 5 years and he becomes eligible for payment of gratuity, right? That is how that is the position. That is where the position stands now. And just this is an example how to calculate gratuity. Again, when we say monthly wages, you have to consider the last drawn wages, because a person would have served for you for 10 years. So you have to take into account only the salary drawn by him at the last, when he gets terminated from the services. What was his salary? Again, when we say salary, it is basic and DA, right? So the formula is basic and DA, monthly basic and DA, which is to be divided by 26. So that will give you per day wage, and that per day wage is to be multiplied by 15, which will give you 15 days wage, and that is to be multiplied by the number of completed year of service. So this is the formula. So monthly wage divided by 26 into 15 into completed years of service, right? I've given one example. The retirement age as 31, I mean, date of retirement as 31/5, 31st May 2005, and the date of joining of the person is 1st February 1985. So this person has served 20 years and 4 months, right? So when we say 20 years and 4 months, instead of 4 months, if it exceeds 6 months plus even half a day, then you have to count it for 21 years. That is 6 months, and in excess of 6 months, then you have to count it as 1 year. If it is less than 6 months, then you have to ignore it. So in this case, it is very clearly less than 6 months. So we are ignoring this 4 months, and the number of years for which the gratuity is to be paid in this example is only 20. And this person's salary is 5,000. So 5,000 divided by 26, that will give you the per day wage into 15 into 20, which is the completed years of service. That gives the quantum, which is 57,692. So that quantum is to be paid as lump sum to the individual employee as gratuity, right? Again, irrespective of whether the individual employee makes a claim or not, right? It is to be paid within 30 days. Within 30 days from the date it falls due. So it is obligation on the part of the employer. Yes, there is a provision for submitting application by the individual employee, but he may not be knowing that, because employees are assumed to be layman, right? So they may not know what is the provision under Payment of Gratuity Act. So if at all, if the company is very specific about submission of Form I, then the company has to guide him. Company has to prepare Form I, get the signature from the individual, and work it on, then finally make the payment. Again, within 30 days, all these things have to happen. Now, there is a ceiling for upper ceiling for the quantum of total gratuity. The amount of gratuity payable to an employee shall not exceed 20 lakh, right? It was 1 lakh, then 3.5 lakhs, then 10 lakhs, then it is currently 20 lakhs. It could get amended, right? But if the company wants to make payment as gratuity over and above 20 lakh, maybe because of the salary, the work, maybe because of the salary he gets, that person may be entitled to say 22 lakhs, right? It is sufficient if the company pays only 20 lakh, that is sufficient. But if the company wants to make the entire 22 lakhs, they can still do so. Only thing is, the extra 2 lakhs will be treated as income, and that will be subjected to income tax. So only up to 20 lakh, of gratuity will qualify for income tax exemption. That will not be treated as income. I'll move on. So again, forfeiture of gratuity, like disqualification, which we saw under bonus, here also forfeiture is there. Gratuity can be forfeited to the extent of the damage or loss caused, again by the individual employee because of his omission or negligence or some destruction of property, right? So to that extent, yes, gratuity can be forfeited. But when we say omission, negligence, there should be these are all maybe should be very clear, proven cases, right? It is not just saying that orally he has done like that, he has done like that, so we have no. It is not sufficient. Clear papers, right? Inquiry papers must prove that, and it can also be gratuity can also be fully or partially forfeited if the termination of the services of that person has happened because of the riotous behavior, violent behavior, or other acts of violence, or any other commission of act involving moral turpitude. When we say moral turpitude, it is kind of shocking the conscience of the society itself, right? So for these cases, again, proven cases, if a person is terminated from the services, then it can be fully or partially forfeited gratuity. That is possible again.